Your words are the foundation of your reality, and the way you speak determines the way your life unfolds. Many people underestimate the power of what comes out of their mouths, thinking that words are just sounds. But in truth, they carry energy, authority, and the ability to shape your circumstances. When you declare freedom, abundance, and provision, you are activating forces that work on your behalf. Poverty cannot stand in the presence of bold, faith-filled declarations. Each word you speak acts like a command, setting in motion events, opportunities, and solutions that were previously unseen. What you consistently say has the power to create your future. When you speak about lack, scarcity, or impossibility, you are reinforcing those conditions in your life. Every time you say, I can't, I don't have enough, or this will never change, you are giving energy to limitation. Words are not neutral. They either empower or enslave you. The moment you understand this, you begin to take responsibility for what you say. You stop giving authority to circumstances that were never meant to control you, and start speaking life into situations that need transformation. Your mouth becomes a tool of victory, not a witness of defeat. Declaration is not wishful thinking. It is an intentional act of faith that commands reality to respond. When you say, my poverty ends this week, you are not hoping for change, you are announcing it. The universe, divine power, and even your subconscious mind recognize the certainty in your words. Speaking with conviction reshapes your thinking, influences your decisions, and positions you to receive what you have spoken into existence. Every time you repeat a declaration with belief, you are reinforcing the blueprint for your breakthrough. The spoken word carries energy beyond what you see. Even if your bank account looks empty, even if bills are stacked high, when you declare provision and abundance, you are shifting the unseen forces. Faith-filled words are commands that move mountains, open doors, and attract resources. They act as invisible keys, unlocking possibilities. Your words are more than hope. They are the mechanism through which change is released. Poverty has no authority over those who speak with consistent power and belief. Consistency is critical. Saying a few positive words once will not bring lasting transformation. You must speak life into your circumstances repeatedly until your belief surpasses doubt. Daily declarations, even in the face of struggle, gradually reshape your environment. Your subconscious begins to accept these truths as reality, and your mind starts to act in alignment with your words. With each repetition, your faith grows, your confidence strengthens, and your life begins to reflect the abundance you have spoken. Words spoken in faith also influence action. They awaken a mindset that refuses to settle for limitation. When you consistently declare that your poverty ends, your decisions begin to reflect that belief. You start looking for opportunities, making wise financial choices, giving generously, and taking steps that align with abundance. Your declarations create direction for your actions, and your actions reinforce your declarations. The synergy between words and deeds accelerates your breakthrough. When negative circumstances arise, your words protect you. They act as a shield against fear, doubt, and despair. Instead of succumbing to worry, When a bill seems unpayable or an opportunity seems lost, you speak boldly, affirming your freedom from poverty. Your words become a spiritual and practical weapon that maintains your focus on possibility rather than limitation. Every time you declare victory, you weaken the influence of poverty over your thoughts and life. The authority of your speech grows when you couple it with gratitude. Speaking positively about what is present, even in scarcity, amplifies your declarations. Gratitude acts as fuel for your words, increasing their power to manifest change. The more you appreciate what you have, the more you create space for what is coming. Words that express faith and thankfulness attract provision and open doors to resources you may not have noticed before. Your words also influence others and the environment around you. When you speak life and abundance, people respond differently. Opportunities begin to gravitate toward you because energy is attracted to what is consistent and certain. Your speech sets a tone for your environment, shaping relationships, work situations, and even unexpected encounters. Speaking with authority not only changes your personal circumstances, but also draws external factors into alignment with your declaration. Finally, speaking with authority requires belief in your identity as someone who is deserving and capable of abundance. Poverty only holds power over those who accept it as truth. When you recognize that abundance, provision, and prosperity are your natural inheritance, your words gain unstoppable power. Every declaration becomes a reflection of your belief in your rightful place of increase. And as you continue to speak, the world begins to respond. Your poverty ends the moment your words and faith align with action, and your life begins to reflect the victory you have spoken. Faith is the bridge that connects your declarations to reality, and it does not wait for circumstances to change before it acts. True faith moves before evidence appears, believing that what you have spoken is already at work behind the scenes. Many people wait to feel motivated, waiting for circumstances to improve before they declare freedom or abundance. But faith operates independently of feelings. It says, I cannot see it, but I know it is coming, and acts in alignment with that certainty. Faith-filled action releases momentum that circumstances alone could never create, and it positions you to receive what has already been promised. Faith strengthens the words you speak. When you declare, my poverty ends this week, it is not merely a statement, it is a command infused with belief that begins to alter reality. Faith amplifies declarations, giving them weight and direction. Without faith, words remain empty sounds, but with faith, they carry energy that influences every area of your life. The power of faith is that it focuses your attention on the promise rather than the problem. It shifts your mindset from limitation to possibility and activates unseen resources to move toward you. Acting in faith often requires courage because the evidence does not always support what you believe. You may look at your finances, your opportunities, or your environment and see struggle, lack, or delay, yet faith calls you to step forward anyway. It is the courage to walk when the path is invisible, to speak when the circumstances are silent, and to believe when doubt surrounds you. Every step you take in faith reinforces your declaration, proving to yourself and the world that you are committed to the reality you are creating. Faith changes the way you approach challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as permanent roadblocks, you begin to see them as temporary conditions that can be overcome. Bills, debts, and missed opportunities no longer intimidate you because you understand that faith works in partnership with your words and actions. The higher your faith, the more resilient your declarations become. You begin to interpret every difficulty not as a reason to quit, but as an invitation to increase your trust and strengthen your commitment to your breakthrough. Consistency in faith is essential. Declaring abundance once is not enough to shift a lifetime of limitation. It requires daily reinforcement through words, actions, and mindset. Each declaration of freedom, each step of faith, and each act of trust strengthens your spiritual and mental muscles. Over time, your belief solidifies, your focus sharpens, and your life begins to align with what you have spoken. Repetition nurtures faith and transforms it into unshakable confidence that poverty has no hold over you. Faith also influences the way you manage resources. When you truly believe that provision is coming, you begin to make decisions differently. You stop hoarding out of fear and start using what you have wisely to create growth. You begin to invest in opportunities, help others, and position yourself strategically for increase. Faith encourages action that is both deliberate and confident, ensuring that your words are supported by practical steps. The combination of belief and action creates a powerful force for transformation. Faith grows stronger when coupled with gratitude. Expressing thanks for what is already present, even in times of scarcity, reinforces your trust that more is on the way. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance and amplifies the power of your declarations. Each acknowledgement of blessings opens the door for more. And your words of faith resonate with greater intensity. The practice of gratitude strengthens both your spirit and your declarations, creating an environment in which abundance can flourish. Faith is also contagious. The energy of your belief and the authority of your words influence those around you. People are drawn to confidence, positivity, and certainty, and your declarations inspire action and alignment in your relationships, work, and community. Speaking with faith sets a tone that attracts resources, opportunities, and people who support your breakthrough. Your environment begins to reflect the certainty and power that emanates from your declarations, creating a ripple effect that magnifies your progress. Faith requires persistence. It is easy to believe when things go your way, but real faith endures when circumstances are challenging. Persistent declarations, coupled with unwavering belief, gradually dismantle the hold of poverty. Each time you speak truth over your life, despite contrary evidence, you reinforce your authority over lack. You are not reacting to circumstances. You are commanding them to align with your declarations. Persistence strengthens the connection between faith and manifestation, ensuring that your breakthrough is inevitable. Finally, faith transforms identity. Poverty only has power over those who identify with it. When you see yourself as a person designed for abundance, created to walk in provision, and capable of overcoming any lack. Your words carry unstoppable authority. Your declarations are no longer wishful thinking. They become reflections of the reality your faith insists upon. Every day you act, speak, and think from this identity. Your environment aligns with your belief, your opportunities multiply, and your poverty begins to dissolve before your eyes. You have been given authority over every circumstance in your life, and that includes financial struggle, debt, and limitation. Poverty is not a permanent state. It is a temporary condition that flees when confronted with conviction and belief. You are not powerless, and you do not need to wait for someone else to change your situation. The moment you realize the power you carry through your words, faith, and actions, you step into a new level of authority over your life. This authority allows you to confront lack, speak boldly to your challenges, and declare that poverty has no right to remain in your home, your mind, or your future. Debt and scarcity often appear overwhelming because they have been given power through fear, hesitation, and repeated acceptance. Every time you worry about bills, complain about lack, or resign yourself to limitation, you reinforce the grip that poverty has on your life. But the moment you stand firm, speak with confidence, and act with purpose, that grip weakens. You are not a passive participant in your circumstances. You are an active force with the power to rewrite your story. When you choose to take authority, poverty must respond. It is not a matter of if, but when you will see it leave your life. The first step in exercising authority is declaration. Speak to your finances, speak to your opportunities, and speak to your future. Do not describe your lack, command provision. Do not acknowledge limitation, command increase. Words carry spiritual and practical weight. When spoken with faith, they activate movement in ways that are not always immediately visible. Every time you say, "My poverty ends this week," you are planting a seed of change that begins to grow in the unseen realm, preparing the way for tangible results to manifest in your life. Authority requires consistency. Speaking boldly once is not enough to shift years of limitation. Repetition of declarations builds spiritual and mental muscle. It trains your mind to reject fear and embrace expectation. It retrains your heart to focus on what is coming rather than what is missing. Daily, persistent declarations are what transform hope into reality. When your words are spoken repeatedly and consistently, they begin to shape your thinking, influence your decisions, and eventually change your environment to reflect the abundance you have spoken into existence. Faith is the key that powers every declaration. Without faith, words are empty sounds. With faith, words carry authority that moves mountains and opens doors. You must believe that what you speak is already in motion, even if your eyes cannot yet see it. Faith allows you to walk boldly into situations that appear impossible, trusting that unseen forces are aligning to bring your words to fruition. Poverty loses its power in the presence of unwavering faith, because faith shifts your perspective, activates your actions, and commands reality to respond. Actions are the confirmation of your words. Speaking alone is not enough. Your behavior must align with your declarations. Plan your finances, use your resources wisely, and take steps that reflect the mindset of abundance. Acting in alignment with your words multiplies the power of your declarations and positions you for opportunity. When speech and action are synchronized, they form an unstoppable force that moves your life from limitation to overflow. Your consistent, faith-driven actions serve as a bridge between the spoken word and tangible manifestation. Generosity amplifies your authority. When you give, even when resources seem scarce, you activate principles of increase that bring more back to you. Giving is a demonstration of trust, declaring that you believe provision will continue to flow. It positions you as a conduit rather than a container, allowing blessings to circulate and multiply. Each act of generosity reinforces your declaration that poverty has no hold over you, while also attracting favor and opportunity in ways that reinforce your new reality. Persistence is required because change is often gradual. Do not be discouraged when results do not appear immediately. The spiritual and practical forces at work respond to steady, unwavering declarations. Persistence strengthens your connection to the authority you have been given and proves to your mind, your environment, and your spirit that your words carry weight. Every repetition of your declaration, every act aligned with your words, gradually dismantles the hold of scarcity in your life and brings your breakthrough closer. Gratitude magnifies authority. A heart and mind that are thankful for what is present, even in the midst of lack, create a fertile ground for provision to grow. Gratitude amplifies faith, giving your declarations greater power and accelerating the arrival of your breakthrough. When you combine declaration, action, persistence, and gratitude, you create a multidimensional force that poverty cannot withstand. Your words become commands, your actions become confirmation, and your life begins to align with the abundance you have declared. Finally, understanding your identity as a person created for abundance transforms the way you operate in the world. Poverty has power only when you identify with it. The moment you embrace your rightful place as a person of provision, your words gain authority, your faith becomes unshakable, and your actions are empowered. Every declaration you make is now backed by the truth of who you are. You are not defined by lack, you are defined by the abundance that is your inheritance. The recognition of this identity is what gives your words the power to command poverty to leave, and it positions you to walk confidently into the life you have been promised. The first step in ending poverty is understanding that it is not a permanent condition, but a temporary circumstance that can be overturned with the right mindset, words, and actions. Many people accept lack as their normal, thinking that their finances, opportunities, or situations define who they are. But you are not defined by your current state. You are defined by the authority you carry to declare change and create a new reality. When you choose to recognize your power, you shift from being a passive participant in life to an active creator of your destiny. This understanding alone begins to loosen the grip that poverty has on your mind, your heart, and your life. Your words are not just sounds, they are commands with energy and power. Speaking boldly to your circumstances sets in motion unseen forces that respond to authority. Every time you declare, "My poverty ends this week," you are activating momentum that begins to work in your favor. Words have the ability to influence your thoughts, your emotions, and even your actions. When repeated consistently with faith, these declarations begin to shape your environment and attract opportunities you may not have anticipated. The spoken word becomes a blueprint for the reality you desire, turning hope into tangible results. Faith amplifies every declaration you make. It is the bridge between what you cannot see and what you are expecting. Faith is not passive, it moves you to act, even when circumstances suggest impossibility. To speak words of abundance without believing in them produces no change. But when those words are paired with unwavering faith, they carry authority that poverty cannot withstand. Faith shifts your focus from the lack around you to the provision that is already in motion. It encourages you to walk forward with confidence, knowing that unseen forces are aligning to bring your declarations to life. Consistency is essential in this process. A single declaration is a start, but it will not dismantle years of limitation. Repetition of words and alignment with consistent actions build spiritual and mental resilience. Daily affirmation, reinforced by faith, creates a new pattern of thinking that slowly overrides old habits and beliefs rooted in scarcity. This steady repetition ensures that your mind, your heart, and your environment are all responding to the same message: that poverty no longer has authority over your life, and that abundance is your natural inheritance. Action gives substance to your words and faith. Speaking alone will not manifest provision. It must be paired with deliberate steps that reflect abundance. You must manage your resources wisely, invest in opportunities, and take initiative toward growth. Each step in alignment with your declarations strengthens the power of your words, signaling both to your environment and to your subconscious that you are committed to living in abundance. Action confirms the authority of your speech and prepares the way for provision to flow into your life. Generosity is another essential element in this journey. Giving, even when it feels challenging, demonstrates trust in provision and opens channels for increase. Acts of generosity create momentum, allowing blessings to circulate and multiply. They reinforce your declaration that poverty has no hold over you and invite opportunities that you could not have created alone. The act of giving shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, proving to yourself and the world that you operate from faith and authority rather than fear and limitation. Persistence is critical because transformation does not happen overnight. Often, results take time, but each act of faith, each spoken declaration, and each aligned action adds to a cumulative force that gradually shifts your reality. Persistence strengthens your resolve, reinforces your identity as someone created for abundance, and ensures that your words and actions are not weakened by doubt or discouragement. With each step of persistence, the hold of poverty diminishes and the path toward financial freedom becomes clearer. Gratitude enhances the power of your words and actions. A thankful heart creates fertile ground for abundance to grow. When you express gratitude for what you already have, Even amidst challenges, you invite more into your life. Gratitude aligns your spirit with provision and amplifies the authority of your declarations. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present, reinforcing your faith that greater blessings are on the way. This combination of gratitude, declaration, and action creates a force that poverty cannot withstand. Your identity as a person created for abundance transforms your entire approach to life. Poverty only has power when you identify with it. The moment you accept your inheritance of provision, your words gain authority, your faith becomes unwavering, and your actions are empowered. You begin to operate not from fear, limitation, or lack, but from confidence, vision, and purpose. This identity shift changes how you perceive challenges, respond to opportunities, and navigate life, setting the stage for lasting transformation. Understanding your authority and identity compels you to act with intentionality. Every word spoken, every step taken, and every choice made must reflect your commitment to abundance. The alignment of speech, faith, action, and gratitude creates a momentum that cannot be stopped. As you continue to declare freedom from poverty and live in alignment with your declarations, the circumstances around you begin to shift. Your mindset, environment, and opportunities respond to the authority of your words, drawing provision, favor, and breakthrough into your life. Poverty is often accepted as an unchangeable reality, but it is not a permanent state. It is a condition that can be overturned when you understand the power you carry through faith, words, and action. Too many people allow scarcity to define their identity, thinking that what they lack in resources, opportunities, or provision is who they are. But you were created for more. You were designed to operate from abundance, to walk in favor, and to experience provision beyond limitation. The moment you understand this truth, your perspective shifts and you begin to see lack as a temporary condition that responds to authority rather than a permanent reality that controls your life. Words are more than just sounds. They are vessels of authority that carry energy capable of transforming your circumstances. Every declaration you make, every affirmation you speak has the potential to shift your environment. When you say, "My poverty ends this week," you are not simply expressing a hope, you are commanding change. Spoken with conviction, your words activate unseen forces that align to bring your declarations into tangible reality. The more consistently and boldly you speak, the more powerful your words become in shaping both your mindset and your external circumstances. Faith is the key that gives authority to your words. Without faith, declarations are empty. With faith, they become commands that move mountains and open doors. Faith allows you to act even when your circumstances suggest impossibility. It tells you to take steps forward, to make decisions, and to continue declaring abundance, even when the evidence does not yet appear. Poverty has no power over someone who walks in unwavering faith, because faith positions you to receive what is already on its way. Every act done in faith strengthens your declarations and confirms that change is possible. Consistency in your words, faith, and actions is essential to dismantle the hold of poverty. A single declaration will not undo years of limitation. Repeating your declarations daily with faith and conviction rewires your thinking and reshapes your habits. Your mind, heart, and actions begin to respond to the truth you are speaking. Over time, this steady reinforcement establishes a new pattern in your life, replacing scarcity thinking with a mindset of abundance. Repetition solidifies belief and prepares the ground for lasting transformation. Action gives substance to your faith-filled words. Speaking without acting produces no change, but when your words are aligned with deliberate steps, they create a momentum that poverty cannot resist. Managing your resources wisely, taking initiative, investing in growth opportunities, and using your talents strategically are all actions that confirm your declarations. Every step you take that reflects the reality you are speaking amplifies your authority and positions you for breakthrough. Words inspire action, and action confirms the authority of words, creating a powerful cycle of transformation. Generosity magnifies your power over poverty. Giving, even when resources seem limited, demonstrates trust in provision and opens channels for increase. Acts of generosity declare that you believe in abundance, not scarcity. Giving does not reduce your supply. It activates principles of multiplication that bring blessings back to you in unexpected ways. Every act of generosity aligns your life with the flow of abundance, reinforces your declarations, and invites favor, opportunities, and resources that support your breakthrough. Persistence is required because real transformation is rarely instantaneous. Breakthrough often comes gradually, building momentum through repeated declarations, faith-filled actions, and disciplined living. Each time you speak boldly, act with intention, and refuse to accept limitation, you reinforce your authority over poverty. Persistence strengthens your belief, deepens your faith, and ensures that your declarations are not weakened by temporary setbacks. With steady effort, the hold of poverty loosens, and the environment around you begins to reflect your commitment to abundance. Gratitude amplifies the authority of your words and the effectiveness of your actions. A heart filled with thankfulness attracts more blessings and shifts your focus from lack to provision. Expressing gratitude for what you already have, even in times of scarcity, strengthens your faith and reinforces the expectation of abundance. Gratitude creates fertile ground for provision to grow and makes your declarations more powerful. When your words, actions, faith, and gratitude align, they create a force that poverty cannot withstand and that multiplies the blessings in your life. Identity plays a central role in overcoming poverty. Scarcity holds power only when you identify with it. The moment you embrace your identity as a person created for provision, abundance, and victory, your words carry authority, your faith becomes unshakable, and your actions are empowered. You begin to think, speak, and act like someone who operates from a place of abundance. Your perspective changes, and the way you approach challenges, opportunities, and resources shifts, positioning you to receive provision in ways you may not have imagined before. Every word spoken, every act of faith, and every expression of gratitude reinforces the authority you have to end poverty in your life. When speech, action, and mindset are aligned, they create an unstoppable momentum. Opportunities open, resources flow, and obstacles diminish. The alignment of your declarations with faith, persistence, action, and gratitude ensures that change is inevitable. Each day lived intentionally in this alignment strengthens your position, attracts favor, and draws abundance into your life, making poverty powerless against the authority you now carry.